This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it, so the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.
Imagine my shock after years of having been a huge Brandon Tatum fan, reading all of his stuff, listening to his podcast, watching his videos. Then I invite him onto my podcast because I'm such a big fan.
Okay, Brandon Tatum, I cannot thank you enough for coming on my podcast. I'm a little bit starstruck because I've been watching you for years, but I did not think I would actually get you down to come to this podcast because I watch everything you do on X. You have such a voice of moral clarity in this really freaky time, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today.
And he comes and we have an amazing conversation about like God and the Bible, the Torah, what's happening to the conservative movement right now, an amazing conversation. And then the next day, I get this message from his office. Hello, Rachel. Brandon asked me to reach out with a direct request. Please refrain from posting and please remove any uploaded version of the interview with him. He was not aware that you are Rabbi Shmuley Boteach's daughter at the time of recording. Brandon has publicly and consistently opposed many of your father's positions over the years, and he does not wish to be associated directly or indirectly with him or his views. For that reason, we also need to formally cancel the interview. It already happened, whatever, okay? And any planned publication or promotion related to it. Please confirm that the interview has been taken down and will not be posted moving forward. I wrote back to them saying, this is like shocking. Can you please repudiate this? I'm not taking the conversation down. They completely ghosted me, never answered me. Okay, so what's bothering me here? It's not just that this is such a degrading, demeaning message where Brandon treated me like a piece of garbage stuck to the bottom of his shoe. And that's not such a big deal because it's very common that someone's private character doesn't match their public persona. Okay, that's fine. It's also not that he went woke on me and tried to cancel our conversation and censor me because of my last name, right? I love my dad with all my heart and soul, but we're two different people. We agree on some things, disagree on other things. Conservatives, right? This is one of our biggest conservatives. We don't cancel people based on their background, their ethnicity, their last name, their religion. It's that he lied. I looked it up and I remember thinking, I don't remember him ever talking about my dad. What is he talking about? Like years of disagreement? There's nothing online. I can't find anything. It's a lie. My guess, and this is why I'm sharing this, is that this came from Candace Owens. Candace Owens has such a creepy obsession with my father and I. She has blasted us multiple times, me, on her Daily Wire show. She accused my father of murdering Michael Jackson. She accused me and my father of killing people. She used the word killing. And in this conversation I have with Brandon, I called her evil.
I truly think, and I don't know your relationship with her, I truly think Candace Owens is one of the most diabolical, evil.
Hey, wait, hold on. She's using my video. Hold on, wait. She's using my video. Oh my gosh. Wait, did she do this? Or did it, maybe my editor added that. Maybe my editor added that. Okay, let me strike that. Wait, hold. Okay, now I got to go look at the original now. I think maybe my editor did that. Oh my gosh. Okay, jump scare.
Hearted women in America, probably in the world. One of the worst women in the world. I really think she's borderline evil. She, like 2 years ago, was talking about, and I know, I'm sorry, because I know you must probably be friends or something or somewhat, you probably talk, but she was talking about how Israel, I just want to give.
Shout out to my editor. That's what he meant. Okay. No, okay. My editor, her original video is 2 minutes and 51 seconds. The video that I'm playing that he sent me, he said, hey, here's Rachel's video. I realize it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. He's added this part to it. Okay. I'm like, wait, she's using my video. Shout out. I would love to talk to her. She seems like a great person. Okay. Sorry about that.
Give an example of a spiritual demonization of Israel in the name of Christianity that has nothing to do with like a regular, like I don't like the politics of Israel.
Because she is evil. She is. I stand by that. And Brandon kept defending her and saying, no, Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes are evil, but not Candace. I know Candace. Candace is my sister. I know her heart. She's a good person. I believe, this is like my guess, that this came from Candace. And if Candace is censoring Brandon and Brandon caved to her censorship and he cowed to her trying to cancel me, That is a problem. These are our biggest conservative voices. This is a problem. It's disgusting and it shouldn't happen.
Bruh.
Okay, let me see real quick. Right after the Officer Tatum demanded I remove our podcast, let me give you all a big screen, conversation where I called Candace evil and diabolical, he posts this: I genuinely thought you had convictions and courage, Officer Tatum. Wow. All right, and what is he posting? The game used her name. Candace owned the moment. Matter of fact, that Substack just recently went out. So that's what she's referring to right there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You know, I'm gonna pull that in. I'm gonna pull that in. We'll look at that because I do think that is Brandon Tatum, man. I don't think he realizes how much of his own value he is giving up to stand for and defend Candace Owens is pretty diabolical. I ain't gonna lie. Like, dude, you're missing the whole forest, all of the trees, everything. You're missing it all. Like, you're totally missing the point. And I believe that young lady's correct in that. Let me pull that up. I'm gonna pull that up and we'll look at it real quick and read his Substack on this topic, which I think he missed the mark for sure. The game used her name. Candace owned the moment. I keep telling people that Candace Owens is one of the most unintentionally powerful forces in culture today. I know. I think it's direct and intentional, but I digress. I disagree really with the first sentence. She does not chase drama. I'm sorry. I can't even watch the rest of this. I'm done. All right. I'm going to rage quit the article. I got rage quit the article, man. Like, this is craziness. She does not need hype. She wakes up in the morning, says what she believes, and somehow the entire world rearranges itself to respond to her. That's wild. That is some wild commentary right there, Brandon. And wrong, too, by the way. The latest example came from an unlikely place. Rapper The Game decided to include a track on his new mixtape called the Blank of Candace Owens. Yes, that's a real title. And yes, The Game really thought that was going to stir something up. That's the truth of the matter. The Game only did that to stir this up. He knew that name would jump into the lexicon, jump into the algorithm, and people would be looking and listening to, downloading, and playing that song. Whether they like it or not, it's the title, and he knew that. Let's go. But let me tell you how this actually played out. Instead of hurting Candace, I don't think he meant to hurt her, though. That's the thing. The Game didn't mean to hurt her at all. The Game is giving her some level, if you will, of notoriety, and dare I say, even affirming what she believes. Let's keep going. Candace made her even more instead of hurting Candace, he made her even more relevant. He gave her even more reach, and he reminded the entire industry that no matter how much people claim to dislike her, they cannot stop putting her name in their mouth. To some degree, I can respect that. The problem is notoriety and the foolery and Tom chicanery that we're watching right here. That doesn't mean anything. But we'll continue. I just saw a comment pop up. The Game actually spoke nicely. Right. That was not a dig again. No, there you go. Thank you, Jen. Jen, Coco. I appreciate it. This is what happens when you become a cultural magnet. You do not force attention. Attention forces itself on you. Candace reacted exactly how a confident woman reacts. Candace saw the title during the live stream and immediately cracked jokes. She said it sounded like a predictive programming. She pointed out that the track number was 13 and laughed about it. She told her audience she is having the best year of her life and she is not bothered in the slightest. But everybody, I wouldn't be bothered either. I crack jokes about it too. Like, what? That doesn't mean anything, but let's go. Let me do real quick. Somebody asked us, Candace going live today. She has not announced it, and I have a hard stop at 6:45. So she's not announced it, and it's not even on her screen. So I'm guaranteed she's going to go like super late. So I will not be able to do it today. And I do apologize about that. To the 750 that's in the chat, my goodness. She surrounded herself. She understood instantly what was going on. This was not a personal. This was marketing. And I agree. The Game was marketing his song. And he knew that she was going to. Again, that's the same thing with Kanye West and his Hail song. And instead of melting down like a typical celebrity, she leaned into it. I don't think most celebrities don't even acknowledge it though. She teased that maybe there's beef now. Yeah, okay. Maybe she should drop a mixtape of her own. She even suggested he sample her podcast catchphrase, everything is fake and gay. Only Candace can turn a moment meant to rattle her into a punchline that makes her even more memorable. No, there's tons of them that do that. There's tons of content creators that do that. Joe Rogan does it. There's tons of them. Like they don't get bothered by that at all. That is what true confidence in identity looks like. That is what happens when you do not let the culture tell you who you are. The game backpedaled because it was never about her, which is my point. The funniest part of the whole story is that once people asked the game about the title, he immediately clarified that the song is not actually about Candace at all, which is exactly what I just said. He told TMZ the title was metaphorical. It was about character assassination. It was about how the culture tries to destroy people. He said Candace just came to mind because she was always trending, always in the conversation, and always polarizing. That's exactly why he did it. He didn't do it for any of these reasons. So now if he had meant some harm and she responded in that way, maybe so. But I think it's not a far reach to say the game only put her name in that song, only made that song about her with the title rather, because she's always on people's minds. She's always trending, always in the conversation, always polarizing. I think that's the only reason that makes sense. He even complimented her, called her smart, said that he's not worried about her response. Think about that. He used her name because her influence is bigger than his track, which is true. The game is like my age. We're not supposed to be up there on stages rapping and stuff like that. We could throw out a knee or something. She brings more attention to the content itself. That is not an insult. That is an admission. Again, I've already said that. Whether he meant it or not, he told the truth. Candace moves culture in ways entertainers and politicians wish they could. I'm finding it very interesting that Officer Tatum is going through such lengths to glaze over Candace's impact in culture as if it's a good thing, as if her behavior is one that we should look up to, one that we should admire, or one that we should not call out. That is just that's wild. The people who hate her keep making her famous. This is the part that cracks me up every time. Candace does not have to create controversy. That is not true. She does create controversy. The controversy comes to her. The same people who attacked her online, who swear they despise her, who try to tear down her reputation, are the exact people who keep putting money in her pocket, and they give her free publicity. They push her name higher in the search rankings. They keep her trending. This is the only problem with that, Brandon. I don't think Brandon fully understands how prophetic what he says is right here. They keep pushing her name up higher. You do realize that there's nowhere else for her to go, right? Remember when she was number one in downloads that one day? She's not there anymore. I think she's like number 3. And I think at one point she even fell down to number 6. She's not number 1 podcast anymore. So the higher she goes up is only going to show how frail and, dare I say, how movable she is in the search rankings. They keep her trending. Trending doesn't mean good things. Brandon, why is this a idea? And again, Brandon professes to be a Christian. Why is your push for her to be trending and popular and shifting the culture not centered and anchored and moored to Christian understanding? This is something to wonder about. They think they are assassinating her, but all they are doing is assassinating their own credibility. I don't think that's true at all. I mean, y'all are welcome. There's 781 of y'all in the chat. Y'all are welcome to tell me, like, do people, when somebody calls out Candace, are they destroying their own credibility by pointing out the obvious flaws and issues with her logic or with her argumentation or the drama that she creates and all that chaos that she brings to the mix? Are they ruining their own credibility? And you're assuming that somebody wants to assassinate her character. No, they really want her to stop doing what she's doing and doing it in the way that she's doing it. Asking questions is not the problem. So miss me with that. The issue is that she's assuming things and pushing out things in the form of a question, allegations and assumptions in the form of a question that can't be substantiated. And she has not taken the time to substantiate them. She hasn't given the decency to say, let me tell you why I'm saying X, Y, Z, ABC. But rather, I got some secret Gnostic knowledge that I'm holding back from you. I can't tell you yet, but follow my book club. I can't tell you yet, but tune in tomorrow, tune in next week, tune in the next episode. And I'll give you more and more of the less, more and more and less of what you're actually looking for, which is crazy work. So I don't think Brandon has a full understanding of what's going on, but I digress. Candace is one of the most talked about women in media. That's not a good thing. So was Ebola at one time. Remember monkeypox? So was the swine flu, or goodness gracious, C-19. All of those things were very popular. And again, we will all fade away. My pastor talked about even on yesterday, how your children will remember you, your grandchildren will remember you, your great-grandchildren might know about you, but your third-generation grandchildren, not even a hope. They might not even know your name. So this is going to fade away, Brandon. Well, why is that? Why is just being talked about the goal of our lives, Brandon? Continue. The numbers don't lie. And now she has rappers naming songs after her, not because of scandal, not because she is begging for it, but because her presence is so strong that people cannot stop orbiting around it. I don't know if that's what the game said, though. He just said that, look, I'm trying to bring it up right here. Candace just came to mind because she's always trending, always in the conversation, and always polarizing. I don't think that's because of like a deep-seated appreciation or love for Candace, though. But continue. That is what influence looks like. Candace Owens does not just survive attention. She dominates it. Wow, Brandon. Like, my dude, at what point do you stop glazing this woman? People underestimate Candace because they underestimate boldness. Is that what it is? Boldness. No, we underestimate the depravity of human beings and just how wicked we can be. That's what we underestimate. They see a woman who is not afraid to speak plainly. Really, she speaks plainly. Okay. Like the I feels, Charlie came to me in a dream, my gut, something just doesn't sense right. Okay, she speaks plainly. They see someone who pushes back on narratives. They see someone who is not controlled. And instead of respecting it, they try to destroy it. But here is the truth. Candace is becoming a cultural anchor. Every time someone tries to throw dirt on her name, she grows. Every time someone tries to tear her down, her audience expands. Wow. Every time someone thinks they are embarrassing her, she finds a way to turn it into a moment of victory. Because nobody else does this. Nobody else does this except Candace. Wow. Brandon, my goodness, my guy. This situation with the game proves it again. A rapper tried to create drama, but Candace walked away with all of the spotlight and she did not even break a sweat. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think he wanted drama. If you listen to the song or read the lyrics, he's what he's saying seems to be pretty straightforward in what he explained to TMZ. This is craziness. Final word. Candace Owens has become a kind of a figure of a culture cannot avoid. People can disagree with her. They can criticize her. They can misunderstand her, but they cannot silence her and they cannot ignore her. I don't know about that. Brandon, I'm really disappointed in this thing. This is some hot trash. I'm going to be honest with you. The game tried to make a statement with a dramatic track title Instead, he ended up proving the strength of her influence. I don't think the game ever denied that, though. He's saying because she was in the zeitgeist, I guarantee you, if there was another person's name that was in the conversation around the same time that the game was working on this song, we would be having this conversation. It would be another person's name. So I'm not 100% certain that that's different, or rather that that's something unique. Continue. Candace stays winning because the truth stays with her. Wow. And when you stand on truth, it does not matter who takes a shot at you. You rise anyway. Goodness gracious. She's not just surviving the attention. She is shaping it. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.